guys you're humbling me. All right, Winefluential is here. Finally, at last, a 2-year vision comes to fruition today. So we have an incredible show for you today with some amazing guests. We're going to debunk a lot of wine myths that are out there, and at the end of the show, you will have a beautiful foundation to enjoy a lifetime of wine enjoyment. Wine is very, very important to me. I'm very passionate about wine. Wine does things. I've been following it for a long time, and the thing I like about wine is that it brings people together. It connects us. So whether you are, at the end of the day, having a glass of Chardonnay to say goodbye to that day and welcome in a new day, it usually involves people together with friends, with food, around a table, sharing and communicating and having a good time. The other thing about that connection process is it's the same thing that I feel when we give. And when I talk about giving, I mean giving from the heart, being of service to others. So what we need to do is figure out a way to combine those two things, giving and enjoying wine, and all get connected, and Winefluential does that.
Sommeliers, for wine enthusiasts, for the consumer at large, there's really two important aspects that we want to focus on. First, we want to focus on the aromas and flavors of a wine. We do that by swirling the wine and sniffing the essence of what we're getting there. And then the second component is actually tasting the wine and feeling the structural components within our mouths.
What dishes typically pair well with Pinot?
Yeah, you know, the thing about Pinot, I'm glad we have a Pinot here today because it totally it debunks that whole angle of what you were talking about.
You're such a Pinot fan, too.
Pinot, Mr. Cab. So, red wine with fish can work. So we're talking about a Pinot Noir that can typically go with fatty fish, tuna, shark, salmon. We can also go with coagulated proteins like a beef stew, pot roast. Also, we could do duck. It has a lot of flexibility and adaptability.
Tell me a little bit about the Ounce of Prevention.
The Ounce Prevention Fund is a nonprofit organization that helps to provide early childhood experiences for children in poverty. Children are born learning, but our public education system doesn't begin until age 5, and that's 5 years too late for children who are at risk for school failure.
Okay, so this would be kind of in line with the achievement gap that we hear about.
Yep, there's an achievement gap that actually begins as early as 9 months of age, and the average low-income child starts school 18 months behind their more middle-income peers. And when you start school behind, you are more likely to stay behind. You're likely to be behind at age in 3rd grade. You're more likely to need special education services, more likely to drop out of high school, become a teen parent, or enter into the criminal justice system. There are significant costs to society due to the achievement gap, but what we know is that the achievement gap is preventable.